It's just, like I said, a horrific situation for any parent, a nightmare for any child, and certainly for daycare.
A situation involving this man, 37-year-old Joshua Kabatra, now facing counts of rape and lewd acts with a child. The crime scene, this McDonald's along Southeast 15th Street.
Daycare workers were from outside Midwest City. They brought their children to the play center at this restaurant. And while they were inside the play area, a 4-year-old went to the restroom that's apparently located inside the play area.
Midwest City Police Chief Brandon Clave says the daycare workers checked on the little girl after about 5 minutes. The door was locked until police say Kabatra eventually answered.
Raised his hands, said, "Hey, I'm just washing my hands," and walked out.
That's not what the child told the daycare workers, who immediately called 911.
You know, at this point, there's nothing to indicate the daycare workers did anything wrong. They were supervising the children. The only person who did anything wrong is our suspect.
Chief Clave says Kabatra later admitted what happened. In response, McDonald's said they are deeply disturbed by the incident. In a statement, they say in part, quote, "We are fully cooperating with the police during their investigation. At this time, our thoughts are with the victim and others impacted by this incident." One customer tells us the entire situation is infuriating.
I know it's not their fault, and the reason I know it's not their fault is because pedophiles and molesters, they look like normal, everyday people.
We've never seen this individual before. We hope to never see him again.
You're gonna hear the pages turn.
Hello everyone. I'm bringing you today a very sad, disturbing, and disgusting story out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. You guys, you actually have to watch your kids, take care of your children, protect your children. A 4-year-old girl was raped by a 27-year-old man inside of a McDonald's restaurant, inside of the bathroom, while she was on a field trip with her daycare. The daycare workers allowed her to go to the restroom by herself at 4 years old. And after she didn't come back for a while, they went to go knock on the door, but the entire bathroom door was locked. Not her stall, but the entire bathroom door was locked. So they stood there for a while, kept knocking, and eventually a man, Mr. Joshua, came out with his hands up as if they were the police. They said he came out with his hands up saying, "All I did was wash my hands." The baby girl then told the workers exactly what happened to her and that she was sexually assaulted by the man. He made her touch him and he touched her in different ways. The man was immediately arrested and is right now in jail. And I just think this is a very sad and tragic story. And it seems like every other day it's a story coming out with some grown man or grown woman molesting, raping, or hurting, violating children in ways. And it is so disgusting and nasty. I'm very upset with the daycare workers because this girl was only 4, and I don't believe that a 4-year-old should be able to go to the bathroom alone in a public place at such a young age. I myself have an 11-year-old son, and I have a problem with letting him go to the bathroom by himself. Like, of course, I'm not in the stall with him, you guys. I'm not in there while he's doing his business, but I walk him to the restroom and I stand there until he's done. I don't walk inside the restroom, but I walk to the restroom and I stand there until he goes in, until he comes out. And if I can't do it, my husband do it, my sister does it, someone does it. And I have been doing this all of his life. Ever since he was a little baby, I have a problem with letting my child go to a public restroom at the age of 11. So I cannot understand how daycare workers who go to school, supposed to have license to take care of children, allowed a 4-year-old girl to walk into a McDonald's restaurant bathroom alone. Someone should have been with her. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, at that age, you start teaching the kids to go use it by themselves and all of this and all of that. I understand it. But this is not at home. This is not at grandma's house. This is not at auntie's house. This is not at a friend's house. This is at a public place where there are multiple people inside of the building. It could be anyone that's in there. And guess what? A grown man saw this little 4-year-old girl wander into the bathroom by herself, and he decided to go behind her, lock the door, and violate this child. Why? Because she was alone. Granted, the police have put out a statement that said they don't believe that the daycare workers are at fault, that they were doing what they were supposed to do, taking care of the child. She had to go to the restroom, allow her to go to the restroom. They believe that the only person that's in fault is the person who violated her. But the parents filed a lawsuit 2 days ago against this Christian daycare center because they believe that they should be at fault as well for allowing their 4-year-old child to walk into a public restroom alone without any supervision. The parents of a 4-year-old girl who was raped in a McDonald's toilet, the bathroom, are taking legal actions against her school. The child was on a school trip in Oklahoma when the attack is said to have happened on July 16th. Oklahoma News 4 reports that the girl was subject to a sickening assault in the fast food restaurant's play place toilets. So this wasn't just a restroom like the other restrooms. They also had a separate restroom that was in the play area. This is where they allow her to go in to use it. They did not notice a grown man going into a girl's restroom at all. So no one was paying attention at all because someone should have saw a man walking into the ladies' restroom. Okay, but let's keep going. Police said 37-year-old Joshua Kabatra was arrested at the scene, and he later admitted he raped the youngster after she went to the bathroom unsupervised. Unsupervised. Keyword, unsupervised. Not a 15-year-old, not a 10-year-old. A 4-year-old little girl was allowed to go to a restroom in a public place unsupervised. If the school takes your kids on a trip to the zoo, they are not supposed to let your 4-year-old or 5-year-old or 6-year-old walk off and find the bathroom by themselves. Someone is supposed to see who all needs to go to the restroom and take them. But let's keep going. The assault took place in a Midwest City McDonald's, and now the child's family is taking a Metropolitan Christian school to court. The news channel said the lawsuit blames the caretakers watching over the girl and others while on the field trip. Okay. The legal document says the girl was there with her daycare from the Christian school. It alleges the daycare recklessly and neglectfully allowed the victim to be injured. Now, you guys, of course, their police at that city has came out and made a statement, and also made statements the day of the rape that he believes that the only person to be blamed is the person who actually violated the child. I personally believe that it's his fault because he's nasty and he's a sicko, but it's also the daycare owners, workers' fault as well. I pay you guys to keep my child. I pay you guys to watch my child, to teach my child, to protect my child. And you guys recklessly and neglectfully let my 4-year-old daughter wander into a public restroom by herself. Not the restroom in the daycare, but a public restroom where numerous of other people, you have people that use drugs that just sit inside of restaurants to cool off for the day or to get something to eat. You have homeless people in there. You have all type of people inside of these restaurants, especially McDonald's. We all know this, okay? How can you be so neglectful and reckless that you allowed my 4-year-old daughter to walk into a public bathroom alone? It could have been anyone in that restroom. And we all know men violate kids and also women. We have to talk about that too. Women violate kids too. I have a story coming out tomorrow about a woman who violated a child. Women violate kids, men violate kids, sometimes teens violate kids. There is no answer or logical reasoning for why you allow a 4-year-old to walk inside of a public restroom, inside of a public restaurant alone while she was in your care and supervision. So you guys, what I want you to do is comment below. Do you think that the workers are also responsible for this child being violated, or do you think the parents should just drop the lawsuit because it's not their fault? How could they have known? I understand how could they have known, but as a parent, I would not let my 4-year-old child go into a public restroom alone. My 5-year-old, my 6-year-old, my 7, 8, 9, 10, when they get a certain age, okay, especially for a boy, I know I can't go in there, and I know my son can't go in the ladies' bathroom, but I am going to stand outside of this bathroom until you come out. And if you take too long, I'm yelling there, excuse me, are you okay? That's me. People get violated all the time. Child sex trafficking is at an all-time high. Child abductions are at the all-time high because they are taking these kids and forcing them into sex trafficking. They are taking these kids and doing sick and twisted things with these kids. Some people actually harm children and people just for fun because they get a thrill off of that. So for me, I totally believe that the workers of the daycare should be somewhat at fault for allowing a 4-year-old child to wander off into a public bathroom by herself. I just can't wrap my mind around letting a child so small walk off, find the restroom, and go into the restroom and no one is there with her. What do you guys think about this? Joshua, I hope they throw the book at you, sir. You are nasty. You are trifling. You guys, he first tried to make up a lie that he was in there to wash his hand. He felt sick and threw up. Why were you in a women's bathroom? Why was he in the women's restroom? Why didn't anyone see this grown 27-year-old big ass man walk into a ladies' restroom? So I just want you guys to see that. Not only did they let this child walk into the restroom by herself, they wasn't even paying attention to the restroom area to even notice that a grown man walked inside of a girl's restroom. That's the red flag right there. They were not paying attention at all. So I totally agree with the lawsuit that the parents have filed against the school. You guys, please watch over your kids. Protect your kids at all costs, okay? Watch your babies. Don't let your babies wander off at all. Don't let your babies walk around the store by themselves. You know, like me, I don't like for my son to walk off in the store. And ever since we have moved, like now we're in San Antonio. So right here in Texas, child abductions for sex trafficking is like one of the highest states because of how close we are to the borders and stuff like that. I don't even let my son walk to other aisles. You want to go see the toys? Okay, wait till I get through and we're going to see the toys together. You got to go to the restroom. Let me walk you to the restroom. You want to go get cereal? Let's go pick out cereal together. You guys, you have to keep your children by your side at all times while you are out. There's no explaining. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Protect your children at all costs. You guys, let's get this conversation started below. Do you think that the school workers, the daycare school workers, should be also held accountable for this child's violation? Drop down below and leave your answers. And until next time, see you guys later.